Shalom, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahwashai, Ba'asham Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, pushing this 100% truth of the gospel, waking up and sealing the elect of the nation of Israel through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahwashai, and salutations to all you sincere Akimada that are pushing this gospel in all righteousness and in all sincerity, risking your lives and your freedom to do so. All right, so the title of this lesson is going to be The Earth in Peril. So right now I've got the dictionary out and I just want to get I just want to get the meaning of that word, the meaning of that word peril. Right, so this is it right here, and the word peril, and it reads a situation of serious and immediate danger, something that causes, contains, or presents danger. And that's basically what it's going into, because as it is right now, the earth is in, or rather has been in serious, or has been in serious danger because of. Now, and the precept I'm thinking about right now is the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, where it speaks about how, because iniquity, sorry, not that, where it speaks about how, so I have to get that precept. So I have to get that precept. Let me just go and get it. I forgot how it goes. But basically, that for the elect's sake, that if, so I have forgotten the precept, but let me just bring it out. Here it is, Matthew 24, verse 22, and it reads, "And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened." And basically, when I speak about the earth being in peril, I'm not just talking about the earth and the planets, but also the people that are in the planets, the earth and all the inhabitants of the earth. Okay, because that's exactly what I want to go into when I say the earth is in peril. Because not just the planets, the plants, the animals, the people, the atmosphere, the ecosystem, everything is in danger under the inhabitants of this earth. All right, and that inhabitants of this earth is going into Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Let me get this as well. The inspiration for this lesson, it comes from the book of Isaiah 24. I read that verse 20. No, that's not it. It's okay, Isaiah 24 verse 5. All right, so the inspiration for this lesson comes from Isaiah 24 verse 5, and it reads, "The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant." And those inhabitants is speaking of Esau, Edom, because as soon as they got into their rulership, they destroyed the whole earth, okay, with wickedness. Right, and the reasons why you have forest fires, you have natural disasters, mice plagues, locusts, tsunamis, massive oil spills, a fucked up climate, and so on, is because of these devils, because they refuse to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, because they refuse to follow the ordinance which the Most High has set upon the earth, and they go about doing their own thing, which is in wickedness. All right, because this is what you have on the earth. When the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn, the whole planet mourns, all of creation is groaning over being ruled by these devils. Okay, he is destroying, and that he being Esau, Edom, they are destroying this planet with their wickedness. So let me get the precept, because like I said, everything else I just mentioned that is going on in the planet right now is as a direct result of the wickedness of Esau, Edom. It's wickedness, okay? It's the evil that is on the earth that is causing this. It's whatever these scientists were talking about, saying that, oh, global warming is doing this and that. This is happening because the polar ice caps are melting, and this and that. This is all happening because the Most High is not pleased with the inhabitants of the earth and with Esau's rulership, and is beginning to visit the earth and judge, all right, Esau for his wickedness on the earth. So the book of Leviticus 26, and I'll start from verse 1, and it reads, so okay, I'll start from verse 2. "Ye shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary. I am Yahweh. If you walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them, then I will give you rain in due season, and the land shall yield her increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit. And the threshing shall reach unto the vintage, and the vintage shall reach unto the sowing time. And you shall eat your bread to the full, and dwell in your land safely. That's another thing right there. Insecurity all over the earth. You have civil unrest, protests, mass protests all over the earth. And that is all because of Esau putting this earth in peril by destroying the earth and by forsaking the laws of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Because you know how Esau judges the world in wickedness. And because of that exact action, because of judging the world in wickedness, all right, that's why you have so many protests, so much unrest, so many wars in diverse places. Every all the nations going at each other because of him and because of the wickedness that he has polluted the earth with, because of his policies, his craft that he has caused to prosper on the earth, democracy, the different Roman policies that he has brought forth on the earth is the direct cause of all the destruction that is happening in the planet right now. All right, so continuing from verse 5. And the threshing shall reach unto the vintage, and the vintage shall reach unto the sowing time, and ye shall eat your bread to the full, and dwell in your land safely. And I will give peace in the land, and ye shall lie down, and none shall make you afraid. And I will rid evil beasts out of the land, neither shall the sword go through your land. And that's another thing right there, increased animal attacks, increased violence, increased violence all over the earth. You're hearing about more people getting murdered on the streets. More gun violence going on in different cities. More of death going forth throughout the whole earth, and this is the responsibility of the rulers. Okay, to judge the whole earth in righteousness. Okay, to keep the people safe. To put and this is all your fault. This is all you devil's fault. Okay, because they will say that the human race has done this and that, we need to do better about this and that, but nobody else is polluting the earth at the rate of you devils. You have a whole island the size of a country in the sea right now, and it's filled with trash. Okay, they don't have any clean waters anywhere on the planet anymore. All the waters are filthy. Normally it should be that if a man is thirsty, you can just go over to the lake, the nearest watering hole, and the Most High had put you know, purifying agents in it, with those stones, because a lot of these stones that you see in the oceans are actually used to purify it. They put the fishes, the catfish, the oysters, and the like in the ocean in order to purify it and to keep it clean. And you can drink out of that water, health, and have no problem because that's healthy, clean water. Okay, but what these devils do, they take these fishes out of the ocean, kill them, and eat them, which is of course not what they were made for. Because something they have to understand in this truth, okay? No brother out here hates the unclean animals. We don't hate the pig, we don't hate the catfish, we don't hate the vulture, we don't hate the crab, with the crawfish and the shellfish. Because these are all Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's creations, and they are all beautiful, okay? They are all perfect in their design, but their meat is unclean. The animals themselves, okay, are unclean as well because they are not meant to be eaten. That's what it means when they say an animal is not clean unto you, because it's speaking of the meat and not the animal itself, right? Because you cannot cook it, and you definitely can't keep its carcass around, its dead body around. But you can skin it and use it. You can skin it and make it into clothes and shoes and the like. Okay, or rather bags, I should say. So let me get this piece out as well. But you see what Esau does, feeding people with poison because these animals weren't meant to be eaten. And that's another thing right there. Another thing to speak about. And what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for. So like another thing to speak about. The diseases that are so rampant on the earth. And that's even one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video. Okay, because I'm seeing more and more cancer infections going on here in Nigeria because of of course of the rulership of Esau Edom, man. Because you're not supposed to be having cancer so heavily on the earth. People are not supposed to be. And that's something I always say. You're not supposed to get sick, okay? People aren't supposed to be getting sick at the rate that they are. You suffer the yearly flu, the seasonal flu, or you get infected by the different diseases every year. It's basically normal for people now to fall sick at least a few times a month, at least, you know, they think that they've lived a healthy life. They only fall sick once a year. But that's not how it's supposed to be, man. You're supposed to be able to go your whole life without ever having a sickness, not even a freaking cold. Okay? But because you're not eating the correct foods, because you're not eating nutritious actual foods, okay? Yeah, what are we all eating here? Chemicals constantly. And even if you try to eat healthy, it just makes it so much worse, especially with this food crisis that is being constructed by Esau Edom, rather being what's what I'm looking for. But basically, what you have is a fake food crisis, a fake famine that's about to hit Babylon and into other countries because he is forcing these farmers to kill the animals above selling them, to burn their crops instead of selling them. Okay, to basically artifice or you know produce a fake food crisis. Okay, produce a fake famine, produce fake hyperinflation, produce a fake conflict on the earth because this is what these devils are doing. All these things that you are seeing happening, all these distress is being done on purpose by these devils not to bring forth their new world order. But what they don't understand is that it is Yahweh Bashim Yahushua that is controlling them through his left hand in order to make them believe that they are the ones that are doing this for their own benefits. But it is only to their hearts, okay? Because Easter is about to cash a check, even more than he already has. He's about to write a check that his ass can't catch cash. It's the book of Second Esdras 11, verse 39, and it reads, Art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. So long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. All right, and that's going into what Esau's wickedness, going into the way that he oppresses the nations, especially you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. That's probably even the main reason why the earth is in the state that it is in right now, because the true princes of the earth, the true rulers of the earth are in captivity. Right, they are under the rule of these devils, and these devils are, like I said, they are holding an unjust rule because you see how they speak, man. Their hypocrisies, their wickedness, their sins upon the whole earth. They've sinned against the earth, sinned against the people of the earth, sinned against the animals, sinned against the trees, okay? Because the Most High there are laws on how you should treat these animals. And I was speaking about some of them in the dietary law, okay? So there's laws on how you should treat the animals, treat the plants, treat the earth, the land Sabbath, as it were. After you plant in a certain patch of land for 7 years, you leave it for 7 years in order for the nutrients and everything to grow forth back, okay, rather to grow back into it. All right, you have the various laws on how you're supposed to treat the earth, and Esau keeps none of them. All he just does is take and take and take. He drains resources out of the earth, goes to other nations, to other people's lands, and then drains their resources as well. The whole thing about, and you probably saw it in the news, how the troops in Babylon just withdrew from Afghanistan, and even the elders and the apostles brought this out, that the whole reason why they were even in Afghanistan was for the lithium. That lithium is a chemical that is used to power batteries. Okay, phones till this day, vehicles to this day, anything that is powered by a battery has lithium in it because it is one of the lithium oxide battery. It's one of the most popular forms of battery on the earth. So, alright, one of the most popular ingredients for batteries. So let me continue on from verse 40, and it reads, I want to see, so I cannot, verse 40, verse 41. For the earth hast thou not judged with truth, for thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. That's the main reason why. And that's another reason why the earth is, is in the situation that it currently is in right now, because you shed the blood of the innocent on the on on various lands all over the earth. Now the earth can no longer give its increase because of that defilement, because the blood of the innocent, the blood of the Israelites especially, has defiled the land of the whole earth. And that's why you have the earth groaning and you have the earth groaning and being against these devils, causing disasters, causing like I said, the natural disasters and the like upon the whole earth. Now, because this is happening everywhere on the earth right now, you're having it, and it's happening at a higher and higher rate. Every so often, every single day, multiple earthquakes on the earth. You hear about different things happening all over the earth. Even the climate's being messed up. The earth, the weather, the weather, the lands, the animals, the trees, everything has been messed up by these devils, man. The whole world is about to face destruction if these devils are allowed to continue to rule. That's why I put that in the book of Matthew 24 that says that that except those days should be shortened. In other words, the days of these devil rules, except it is shortened, there will be no flesh saved, because Esau will burn and destroy this whole earth in his wickedness. So I'll just end it right there. So with that, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yawashai, Ba'asham Racha Kwadash, Wa Abad Baba. I feel the spirit of you acting when you acquire or edified. Shalom.